For nearly 2 hours, members of the European Parliament debated the use of the controversial US terrorist finance tracking program, also known as TFTP. Created under the Bush administration, the program is used to access global interbank data to detect transactions between terrorist cells.
Whatever the outcome of the current discussions about the use of data for counter-terrorism purposes, our request would be not to jeopardize the protections which exist today for citizens' data.
And that's precisely the main concern raised by critics. They say a huge amount of personal bank data could also be used for industrial and commercial purposes.
Private companies are not able to combat the risk alone. They need an establishment of international regulation and control mechanisms.
The current lack of such mechanisms is not the only problem. Some MEPs claim the EU had ignored legal advice to engage the European Parliament in talks with the United States. They said handing information to the US to be analyzed in Washington and waiting for the results is the same as outsourcing Europe's counter-terrorism efforts.
Personal data relating to EU transactions will now be stored on European territory under European jurisdiction, and guarantees should clarify not only the mechanism for exchange, but also the mechanisms to ensure the respect of fundamental rights.
The US initially used the program secretly. Members of the European Parliament urge EU member states to make information related to the program public to ensure greater transparency. The debate on whether such a program should be used and under what conditions has been going on for years. Its supporters claim it's an important tool in the fight against terrorism, while critics question its effectiveness and fear it may be used for purposes unrelated to terrorism. Anna Moe, Press TV, Brussels.